Good evening. My name is Ben Maini. I am the chairman, and I would like to call this meeting to order. This is the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting at the town of Monroe, and today is May 5th, 2026, and the current time is 7:04 p.m. I will take a roll call of all the members that will be serving tonight. Ben Maini, chairman.
Jim Went, vice chairman.
Ron Stelmack, member.
Christina McPhail, member.
Thomas Noonan, zoning enforcement officer.
In the normal course of our meetings, we will hear public hearings and other applications. The protocol for the public hearings is to have an applicant make the presentation to the commission, during which and after which the commission will be asking the applicant questions. I ask that the applicants keep their presentation as concise as possible. The commission will then review the town and staff and other independent comments. The meeting will then be open to the public comment. I will ask that all comments be made to the chair or the commission. After all comments, pro, in opposition, or in general nature are made, the applicant will be given an opportunity to respond. Once the case is closed, we will go to deliberation at the end of all the cases to be heard tonight. We do have 4 cases to be heard tonight, and we have 4 board members, and you will need a unanimous vote to get approval. So if that's going to be a problem for one of the cases, please let us know up front. We are expecting another member to join, but we're not exactly sure when. So let's hear, you want to read up the first case?
Sure. ZBA 2026-02, file number 1440 is for 69 Lynn Drive. There was a last minute change to these plans.
Okay.
Good evening. My name is Joanna Brzezinska. I live and I own 69 Lynn Drive, Monroe, and we asking for permits for our
addition, expansion,
yes.
renovation. The existing house already is like the front couple feet of the whole front house is already in the front setback close to the street according to the actual regulations. And we don't move anything forward. We just want to add a vestibule because the entry is straight into the living room. So the weather conditions could be rough when people are inside. So we just want to add a vestibule in front of the building that will be whole inside the front yard. The other thing that we want to do is change the roof direction. That's the structural thing that doesn't change the area of the building. We just change the roof to keep cathedral ceiling, to have that building open more towards. And the last part is we want to expand the garage to the right-hand side of the property, 5 feet to exist, like expand the garage by 5 feet. So there is addition on top of the garage, additional new bedroom, new master suite, and in order to get enough space for that master suite, we want to enlarge the garage to the side. But because of the house, the front of the house is in the setback, that's why we ask for
A variance. So in these plans, so you're adding the, in the front walkway, you're adding the like porch or the cover for the porch or the entrance. So the variance is for that you're asking for today?
That would be correct.
Okay. And on top of that, is part of the application is the addition as well? Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah, it's mainly for the front porch addition and for the garage, I believe. And now the garage is expanding to the left 5 feet, but it won't encroach any further into the front yard setback. Correct? So that won't change. It's just an expansion to the left side of the property.
The garage is there, no, so the garage is not there right now?
There is a garage, but we are adding the second floor to the garage.
You're adding a second floor.
And the front of the garage is in the setback, so it affects the setback line.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, if I understand this plan, the footprint is only changing by a 5-foot extension. Is that correct on that side?
On the side of the garage, yes.
Going out 5 foot, and then above that, there's a second floor.
Yes.
Okay, and the remainder of that ground floor is existing.
Yes. Exactly.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the board?
No questions or comments. What you're requesting for a change would be consistent with the flavor of the neighborhood.
It would be for the favor of the
Right,
neighbor.
it very much fits in.
That's the one thing, the another thing we should develop. In the winter, we have.
Winter is very rough for us because when we open the door, all the weather comes in with us or with animals.
So that's we can start you on the door in a festival. So
In the foyer.
Welcome to New England.
Especially this winter.
It was rough.
I take it all the neighbors were notified, and are any of the neighbors here to speak about this particular request?
And we had someone online, so I'm not sure what case he's talking about.
Is there anybody online who is a neighbor of 69 Lynn Drive who has any comments? Anybody? Sarah did join.
Oh, Sarah's joined. Okay.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, Sarah.
Any other questions?
I have nothing further, Mr. Chairman.
The neighbors were notified, you said?
Yes, they were notified,
Okay.
and I'm sure they're gonna be happy because
Yeah.
the house doesn't look that great.
Okay, great.
All right, if there's no other questions from the board and no other public comments, we will move forward and close this case.
Just want to see if anybody here.
Oh, anyone here that wants to comment? Good, you're all set. No,
Well, we haven't
we have to vote
voted
it.
Good try, good try.
We're gonna deliberate. We'll deliberate. Right, so Sarah Harris will be joining for the second case?
Yeah, sure. We'll do 4 members for 69 Lynn Drive.
Yes.
Since you guys were here, she was not moving forward with these other 3. We'll do all 5.
Yes. Is that okay, Sarah?
Sure, yeah, I could hardly hear, but I can hear now, so that sounds good.
Great, thank you. Can you read the second case?
Sure. ZBA 2026-04, file 1442 is for 23 Glen Hollow Drive. It's yeah.
If you can announce yourself when you're ready.
Is that mic on?
Teacher, I have a lot of voice.
We can hear you. I'm just worried about Sarah at home. We have a member that's on remote, so. Let us know if you can't hear the presentation, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Neighbors.
Now your screen is being shared up here too. Just let you know, for everyone to see.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Singer. This is my husband, Bill Singer. And we are the residents at 23 Glenfall Drive. My husband and I have been lifelong Monroe residents, almost 40 years. We went through the entire public school system here. And we knew as we started our family that we wanted to raise our children in such a special place like Monroe. We have 3 kids, 8, 7, and 4. 2 of them are at Fun Hollow. And our hope today is that you can help us make our home our forever home. We are working on putting an addition on our house. The house was built in 1992, and there was a pool added in 2002, which at the time of the build were both in compliance with the zoning regulations. In 2013, the town of Monroe amended its zoning regulations from a building coverage to a site coverage, which means our property is now not compliant even before we put an addition on. So our hardship arises because our current house is not conforming to the current zoning regulations. An additional note is that our driveway is about half of our site coverage. I have some images to show you of our driveway. So these are just like Google images. You could see it is an extremely long driveway. It's 236-foot setback. And then here's just some additional pictures that I took. So you can see it's a very long driveway. So our hope today is that knowing this in mind, that we will be approved for a variance to put an addition on our house. The addition is going to be in the backyard, so you will not even see it from the street. I have some images of our backyard. And you can see these posts here. So the addition is coming out into the back of the house.
Is there I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, is there a copy of the site plan in your packet?
I submitted it with my
Yeah, we had it from a previous meeting and I didn't bring it, so. Ask for an assist from the chairman here.
I have images of it here, but you obviously probably can't see the survey. It's tiny and on this picture, but
Thank you.
So it's the driveway. So the addition's in the back of the house.
it is, yep. The addition is only adding around 750 square coverage feet. So our current property is 16.6%. The zoning law is 15%. And with the addition, it's going up to about 18%.
And if you back the driveway out of that, what would you be at?
The driveway is, so of our 16.6%, the driveway is 56% of that 16%.
Okay.
I have like some exact numbers. So the driveway is 5,000 roughly square feet of the 8,900 square feet of the current house with the addition.
So, but for the driveway counting as site coverage,
Yes,
you would be in total compliance.
right.
Thank you.
Yes. And unfortunately, we can't make the driveway any shorter because of the topography of our land.
So the existing coverage based on this drawing here is about 16.6%.
Correct.
So you're basically asking for a variance of about 1.5%.
Correct.
So you have a non-conforming property as
Yes.
currently.
You said it much nicer than I did.
Any questions from the board?
No, sir.
Questions?
Sarah, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
I did also pass out, these were all letters from our neighbors, all in support of putting on the addition on our house too.
Any public comments? Questions from the public? Anyone online there, Tom?
Anybody online wishing to make a comment or have a question about this application?
No.
Okay. So we'll close this matter for now for deliberation. Thank you so much. One dropped off. Oh.
Oh, no, that was for taking up the.
Do we have the third case?
Yep. The next application is ZBA 2026-05, 14, file number 1443 for 4 Harvester Road.
Good evening. My name is Therese Guerra. This is my husband, Chris Guerra. We're the owners of 4 Harvester Road. The proposed project that we are doing is the construction of a new garage addition with a second-story space designed to accommodate the future expansion for our family. Extending from the rear of the garage and existing residence, we're proposing a single-story ground level ADU intended for new parents. The reason for the variance is going to be for the garage itself, the second story. The property is a legally conforming lot on 1.04 acres in the RF1 residential zone. The existing dwelling was constructed at an angle to the front property line and roadway, which creates a unique condition for the property. It's not parallel with the front lot line, so the required 50-foot front setback line runs diagonally relative to the house, significantly limiting the practical area available for expansion of the existing dwelling. The dwelling currently sits very close to the required front setback, with portions of the structure approximately 50 to 52 feet from the front property line. Due to the orientation of the house, any reasonable addition that aligns with the existing structure and maintains the character of the home results in a limited encroachment into the required front setback. Strict application of the 50-foot front setback requirement therefore creates an unusual hardship specific to this property, as the angle placement of the existing dwelling substantially restricts the buildable envelope compared to properties where the homes are oriented parallel to the street. This condition was not created by us, the current property owners, but it was the result of the original siting of the house on the lot. Furthermore, locating the proposed garage addition and ADU in full compliance with the 50-foot setback creates additional site constraints related to subsurface sewage disposal.
B100 soil test was performed to identify suitable soils for the proposed septic system. The compliant building area requires a septic tank to be placed minimally at 25 foot away from the building served with foundation grids. This would locate the new proposed septic tank into the B100 area that was already done with poor soil conditions found on site and the existing grade contours. This also creates a challenge with creating positive pitch away from the septic tank to the new leaching fields.
So the requested variance, it will allow a modest garage addition with the accessory dwelling unit that remains consistent with the existing structure that is already in place. It'll utilize the property while maintaining the residential character of the rest of the neighborhood. So that is why we're applying for variance.
Thanks. Any questions from the board?
Were these neighbors also notified?
Yes, they were.
On this list?
Yes, they were.
Okay.
You what?
Yes, I would like to make a comment.
We didn't open it up to the public yet. We'll be right with you.
Okay.
I
Yep.
have a question. We're specifically referring to the garage, right? The ADU is not outside of the setbacks. Is that correct, or am I?
Correct. Yes, the variance is just for the garage.
Okay, and it's a standard two-story garage, or is it any? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It's just a standard garage, so the plan is our existing garage will be, half of it will stay with the main house, creating a new mudroom, boiler room, and storage, and the other half of the existing garage will be part of the new ADU. So doing so, we decided to try and make a new garage for our main house. And above the new proposed garage is going to be a second story. Right now, mainly as storage for the home.
You say there is a garage there and you're not?
There's a garage under the house currently. It's a raised range.
Oh, under the house?
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll be converting half to the ADU and half of it would be for the main house.
And the ADU has been approved already? I know it's not part of the.
No, it has not been because this variance affects how far the ADU gets pushed back into my current backyard property.
I just ask a question about an architectural feature is mentioned here. Is that something aside from what we're talking about?
It's kind of both. So my raised ranch currently has a 2-foot overhang off the face.
Yeah.
So the foundation or garage and house would be running at the 40.3 foot variance of 3.15. And then I am looking to do a garage overhang that will be flush with that 2-foot overhang, which is the reason for the variance of the 1.9.98.
So just to clarify on that, 1.99 in our zoning regulations references setback modifications and exemptions. Ordinary projections such as windowsills, belt courses, cornices, eaves, and other architectural features can extend into a required yard area by 2 feet. And we could approve that as town staff. But obviously with this being non-conforming garage, that overhang is also going to be non-conforming, which is why they're requesting 2 variances.
Comments?
Yes.
Okay, so apparently whoever developed that area really likes to put houses on the corners, right? Including your neighbor across the street. So, and driving down that road, when you look at the projection of your proposed home, it is going to be fairly consistent with the front of other houses going down through there. So it remains, it's not going to be an eyesore, at least in my opinion.
Yeah,
That's what we're
yeah,
trying to
keep it.
Right.
keep everyone else.
area we're talking about. Yeah, we're just talking about this corner.
It's pretty much like from my existing foundation, obviously 0 is the front. Staring at my house, the front left corner sits on the 50-foot setback already. So pretty much from 0 for 27 feet, at the end it comes out 13. So 13 feet into the setback from 0 to 13 on the diagonal, you can see that.
Front, yeah, triangle.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's not even the whole garage, it's just the corner piece in the front.
So this proposed garage will make the house flush, basically.
Correct.
Yes.
All right, so I'll open up to the public. Any public comments? Online or present?
Yes. I don't know if anyone's in the crowd. They would like to speak first, or?
No, you can speak.
I do have a concern.
And you,
This project will be going on.
Sir, can you
if
state your
approved.
name and can you state your name and address for the record, please?
I don't want to. I just want to state what I have to say. That there's really no reason for me to reveal myself. I am in the proximity of the dwelling, that this work is going to be done at. And I just wanted to raise a question of the heavy machinery that will be going up and down the street for several months. In the past, there have been heavy machinery and equipment parked across the street from our home, and also dirt and all types of dust and everything that gets onto our property. Also a concern about the times that the work will be done. Also, if there will be work being done on Saturdays, Sundays, or holidays, which I would prefer does not happen. But my main concern is about the heavy machinery damaging the roads here, because we never have had our road paved. And there's a lot of potholes on our current street, and which is Far Horizon. And by bringing all this heavy machinery and material in, will just cosmetically, I feel like it is an eyesore to me and my neighbors.
Okay,
I don't object to the project. I do object to how things will proceed.
Okay, sir, regardless if they received a variance or not, and town staff was able to approve this application, machinery would be there regardless for the duration of this project. And we understand your concerns, and we can go over them in more detail if you want to talk to town staff at another time. But for this specific application, we're just going over the request for the variance, not anything about construction or, concerns about noise or anything like that. We could go over that at another time if you do wish.
Yes, I would like that, please.
Okay, sure.
But like stating for the record, I'm not opposed to the work being done. But I do have some concerns with, like I said, work time, machinery being up and down, the street and things to that nature.
Sure. We could go over all those concerns during normal business hours.
Would I be contacted, or I would need to show up in person? I don't.
Well, you should
you're
reach
gonna
out
consider
to town staff because you're wishing to remain anonymous right now, so we don't know who you are, sir.
Okay.
But you could contact me, Thomas Noonan, the zoning enforcement officer. My contact information is on the planning and zoning webpage.
Okay.
So whenever you have an opportunity, you could email me, you could give me a call.
Okay, great. Thank you, Tom.
No problem.
Any other comments?
That's it. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other comments from the public? Board, any other questions?
No, sir.
All right, we're going to close the case. Thank you for deliberation. Thank you. Okay, we have the fourth case.
Last but not least, ZBA 2026-06, file number 1444 for 316 Hattertown Road. Come on down.
Chairman, Vice Chairman, and members of the board. My name is Lucas Thomas with Owen, Shire, and Nicola, and I'm here representing the applicant, Mr. Valance, who would be assisting me with the technology portion of this. We're here seeking a variance for some work to be done at 316 Hattertown Road. The property itself is in an RF2 residential zone, and the specific variances are for section 3.2.5A. That's permit a setback of 8 feet for the construction of the addition, and lieu of the required 50-foot front setback, yard setback. And number 2, it's variance of section 3.2.7 to permit building coverage of 50% in the lot area in lieu of the required 10%, and the existing is 10.9%. And the last one is a variance of 1.9.9 D4, to permit a setback of 5 feet for the construction of unroofed steps in lieu of the required minimum extension of 6 feet into the required yard area. I should start by saying that this is a pre-existing non-conforming single-family home that was originally built, a portion of which originally built in the 1700s. That site itself from back then is 0.6663 of an acre, and RF2 zone is a 2-acre zone itself. We have the survey up, and you'll see that Hattertown Road being on the bottom of our screen here, that really that first red squared section is really where the farmhouse is. So it's already from the beginning, it's in that 50 foot setback zone itself. And that's really the main portion, at least half of the house is within that setback. And what we're trying to do is this lower part, we're actually moving back a portion of the original building because we want to get further away from Hattertown Road. So we're reducing a nonconformance by doing so. And in doing so, we're going to square off the back portion. And that's where the 8 foot into the setback is going to be done right there. And then the 5 feet of the stairs, just unroofed stairs. So looking at the regulations and talking with staff, it was advised to ask for a variance for that portion as well, independently of just the 8 foot setback. And then ultimately, we're going to look to get in the garage, but that's within the envelope of the property itself. That is not within any setback or anything of that sort. And wherever the red dashes are, there'll be a second floor put in. I'll just show the colors. Give you a representation of what it is now and what, okay, perfect. The purple line is what is now and what the ultimately, hopefully that's what it will look like. So that's the summary of the work to be done. And under the road zoning code regulations, under section 9.54, the ZBA may vary the regulations upon demonstration of exceptional difficulty or necessary hardship. And here, the pre-existing non-conforming lot in the 1700s, quite honestly. Nothing that my client did affect that. And the ZBA is authorized to exercise its discretion in granting variances with due consideration for conserving the public health, safety, convenience, welfare, and exceptional difficulties or necessary hardships in carrying out the strict letter of the regulations. And we do have that unnecessary hardship based on the age and what we're trying to do now. And just to go a little bit further in, zoning boards of appeal may vary the application of zoning regulations if one, the variance is shown not to affect substantially the comprehensive plan, and two, adherence of the strict letter of the zoning regulations is shown to cause unusual hardship unnecessary to carrying out the general purpose of the plan. That's some case law that I give you credit for. If you're so interested in having some bedtime reading, feel free. So again, it's a 1700s farmhouse. It was originally built very close to the road. And where we are now, and half of it is already in the setback itself. We're trying to reduce the nonconformity on one side, and the side that we do try to will be building is inside. And that particular side, I'm going to go back to the survey, is away from the road, both of those. And zoom out. The neighbor is the state of Connecticut. It's all state-owned woodland, so there's not anybody that would see any part of that, if you will. It's not on the road. They're not even, honestly, a corner lot. That little sliver of land is owned by a neighbor, so they're not even a corner lot. They're offset on that. And just for purposes of comparison, to be able to show. Yep, I'm not aware if you did drive-bys or not, but if not, we'll give you some examples of neighboring properties to show. So the proposed elevation, the proposed site is this bottom right one. And if we go to a few examples down the road,
include a few.
You will see that it's quite honestly smaller than some of the stuff that's already there. And I'd like to point out with that, you can go next 2 or 3 just to show a couple of examples, that one there, and then one more. Those are some examples for you.
Keep scrolling through.
And so one thing I'd like to point out that with lot size being so small, all the work produces a proposed building coverage, a percentage of 15%, and we're allowed to 10%. We're asking for the 5%. However, if we were to calculate this on the 2-acre lot that the RF2 allows, it would only be 5%. So it's not in any way trying to be a big mansion, if you want to call it that, or whatever. It's just simply getting some more space for them, a garage, which they don't have, and then fixing the old farmhouse, which I think there's some pictures. The ceiling's kind of like right here. You know, they're kind of
6'2" ceiling.
Yeah, there's kind of doing that. So yeah, that's it. Unless the commissioner, of course, has any questions, happy to answer.
Sarah had a question, I think.
Yeah, Sarah, do you have any questions?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Any questions from the board?
I have a question, Mr. Chairman. Just more interest than anything else. If you go back to the photo of the existing front elevation,
Okay.
I noticed that that's kind of taken from interior to the lot, because I know in driving by, you can barely see this house from Hattertown Road because there's a ton of trees,
Correct.
even though you're so close to the
Yep.
street. Do you anticipate that to remain as a?
Yep, all the
We
trees
love
are
those trees there. We're just going to leave.
It's not really in our purview, just more of a curiosity, because I know I drive by that intersection quite a bit, and
all those trees.
I know that the house now is,
Yeah.
you can't see that
Yep.
that view that you're seeing there from.
That's what you see is the edge of the old farmhouse, which looks awful.
Exactly. And the fence.
That's actually the bit that we're moving further away from the road.
I get that. I find that purple line comparison drawing to be very effective it helps.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate that distinction.
So to orientate us, as you can see, the left-hand side, that's the bit that is very close to Hattertown Road, that we're removing. This part here is the old farmhouse. As you can see, it's effectively single story. This is nesting barn property there, and this is the garage addition on this side.
I have nothing further, Mr. Chair.
Any other questions from the board?
Yeah, clarification, all the trees are staying.
Any public comments? Online or in person? Okay, we're going to close the matter. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Remember.
Those are all the cases. So we're going to move to deliberation. First item on the agenda would be to, I guess, approve the minutes from the meeting of February 3rd.
You want to do the applications first?
Well,
It's just, do
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
I have a second? All approve?
Aye.
Approve.
And so let's look at the first case. 69 Lynn Drive. Any discussions?
I'll make a motion to approve, Mr. Chairman, for discussion purposes.
I'll second.
Do you want to expand on the reason or?
I have no issue with this proposal. I think it's completely in harmony with the neighborhood. It's pretty much on the same footprint, and the only real extension beyond the footprint is that vestibule addition, which is, I think, is de minimis. So I'm prepared to support this application.
All right. Any other comments from?
I concur with Jim.
You seconded the motion, Christine?
Seconding the motion, yeah. Ready for vote? Sarah's not voting on this one. Ready for vote? We have a approval? Okay. I guess, yes,
Yes.
yes, 4 yeses. Unanimous. Glen Hollow Drive. Any discussions? Comments?
I'll also, for discussion purposes, move to approve this application, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Any, would you like to expand?
Again, this is the one, this, if I'm not mistaken, this is one where we have the 3 neighbor letters in support.
Yeah.
If the driveway didn't have to count in the site coverage, this would be well within the limitations. The addition itself does not require any variances from any dimensional requirements. So I think the fact that the zoning regulations have changed in 2013, that now counts that extensively long driveway, could be considered a hardship in this case, and I'd be prepared to support this application.
Any comments? Sarah?
I would also support for the reasons you've given, particularly the length of the driveway as well as the fact that the regulations had changed. I think it's a reasonable variance to ask for.
Okay. I tend to agree. So we'll move it to a vote. I guess we should state our names and our vote.
Christina McPhail, yes, approve.
Ron Stelmack, yes.
Jim Wendt, yes.
Ben Mayini, yes.
Sarah Harris, yes.
Okay, that's approved. I think we have 4 Harvester Road. Harvester Road. We have a motion, discussion.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Would you like to elaborate?
I think the placement of the house at that angle makes it difficult to add on, and the way that they're adding on is conforming to the neighborhood and keeps with the neighborhood look and feel.
Agreed. It'd be very difficult to engineer an increase in that property without running into the sidelines. Mostly because of the angle.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree. I'd support this application. It's not the entirety of the garage. It's just that front triangle of the garage to keep the front plane. And not that it's relevant to this application, but I wholeheartedly support the moving forward for a 2-generational household. I support that 100%.
Okay, I agree. So we'll move it to a vote. Sarah, would you like to vote on this?
Yes, I would approve.
Christina McPhail, yes.
Ron Stelmack, yes.
Jim Wendt, yes.
Ben Mayini, yes. That's approved. We have the 4th case, 316 Hattertown Road. Is there a motion, discussion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Would you like to comment, Ron?
Okay, well. For all the reasons elaborated, this is a very tiny lot, and it's back when things were done that way, everything was positioned as it was. I see there were no prior variances requested for this property, which kind of surprises me. The footprint is not drastically changing where it encroaches on toward the road. And quite honestly, between the trees and the fence, whatever takes place is not going to be visible from the road. And in addition to that, the surrounding houses are consistent with the proposed architecture.
Okay, I tend to agree.
I agree. I think technically they're actually reducing the nonconformity by pushing the house back a little bit. I think they've done a nice job in the design to maintain while it's essentially going to be new, it's still going to have that old farmhouse look to it. And I think that's a compliment to the neighborhood. And I'm prepared to support this application.
Great, I tend to agree. Are we ready to vote? Do we have a motion? You want to start, Christine?
Motion to approve, Christina McPhail.
Ron Stelmack, yes.
Jim Went, yes.
Sarah?
Sarah Harris, yes.
Ben Mayini, yes. Okay. Been approved, unanimous. And that's all the cases, and I don't think there's anything else on our agenda. Thank you for coming out, and meeting adjourned. What is it? What time is it?
49.
7:49.